Nithyanandam, this is my Shiva Maya, and today with a very special video about the biggest belief in this world. Because we have, of course, the biggest religions. Maybe that is what you're first thinking about when I say the word belief. But that is not what this video is about, because that is definitely not the biggest belief. Biggest belief is actually of a mind. The belief in the mind, the belief that the mind would exist, which actually is not the case. The mind is not real. And what do I mean actually by saying that? Well, there are thoughts coming up and going. We have this body. There's a brain inside of this body. And there is consciousness, that what lives through this body, that how the breath is actually connecting the existence of this body, the matter, with the whole cosmic consciousness. There is not something that is the mind or what we experience as the ego or the self, our feeling of self in terms of I'm a woman, so I should be like this and that and that, and not like that because that is male, or other all kinds of identifications. Like I am Dutch. Well, this body has been born on what we call as a Dutch ground. But what is a Dutch ground? It's even something that is just made up, as if the whole earth always has been the same. No, the boundaries and what we call as Dutch or German or European or whatever is what we made up. And amongst each other, with a certain group of people, we agreed upon it and we invented a whole system to keep that working like that. And therefore, most of the people that are new coming in, had the new bodies that are getting born. Also, we made them fit in that same system. And from there, it evolves and transforms and all of that. There is no such thing as that, that identification with that. Yes, I have a Dutch passport, and that is giving me access to that whole infrastructure that we created, and we call it as society. But all of the ideas about that and all of the concepts of what would be Dutch or what would be non-Dutch, that does not exist. That is just a mind making things up. And if you share that with a lot of people and everybody says yeah, that's true, then we tend to get caught up in believing that it really exists. And that is exactly believing a mind in a mind that exists. And we do that already for a long time. And Descartes even said, I think, therefore I am. And we are giving so much importance to our thoughts and our constructions of the mind, all these concepts and ideas and associations and things that we really feel are true. Living enlightenment means the whole journey of seeking how to see through that, how to experience that that is not real, how to experience the actual reality of who we truly are, the infinite source of life, consciousness. And the beauty of it is, once you see through that, you see that all of the mind likes to create duality. And it creates first a problem, and then it creates a solution. And then it plays this whole game of there is a problem and we need to find a solution for it and fix the problem. And then we find another problem and we do the same game again. Like, but it is all made up from the mind. What you can also do, and what is actually needed to go beyond any suffering, is see through that whole construct and see that both the problem as well as the solution are creations of the mind. You can also, mind is in that sense an action. You can also just not create it to begin with, and then you don't experience any problems. And there's no need for any solutions. There are just infinite amount of situations coming and going. And that's like, it's a wonderful thing. Once you see through that, you just relax in that infinite source of being, and also seeing that like literally everything comes and goes. And it is the mind who's playing the game to put labels on that, to put labels on whatever is wrong or right, whatever is good and bad. It creates these dualities all the time. And non-duality, oneness, is just a realization of the mind doing it, where you start catching where the mind is creating it. Gives you the power in hands to stop doing actually that process of creating that duality. And from my own experience, I can say, like, whenever you fall and relax into that oneness space, that is advaita, oneness, then also all of the fears disappear. Because fear only can also exist by an enemy. And like, when you don't create an enemy, when you don't put the label enemy on anything or anyone or any situation, just like how you can create problems and solutions, you can create enemies and fight with them. But you can also stop doing that once you start catching that it is a creation of the mind. And the beautiful thing of that is that all the fears disappear. They're no longer there, and you feel this infinite source also of power of just in every single situation, see what you want to do and make a decision, do something, and be in that situation, and also acknowledge that it comes and goes. It doesn't make necessarily the whole of existence like one big game. Why would I even play it? That is definitely something that I have been gone through also, and it makes you kind of extremely depressed in some sense, when you don't see anymore why you would even play this, because you already see that it's leading nowhere. And nothing can give you fulfillment that you can do in the outside world, whether it is like building your own business or having some kind of huge success with projects, or whether it is having a certain relationship or whatever. If you see through that nothing of all of that can give you any fulfillment, first of all, I got really depressed, like, okay, but what's the point of doing anything then? And then when that whole breakthrough happened, of identifying yourself only as consciousness, I am, aham, only with existence itself, then it starts oozing out. So much of Kundalini energy awakens, and so much of love is suddenly available in the system. And from there, you naturally want to share with people and celebrate life together, and like share, making these kind of videos, like sharing with everybody the possibilities for whoever is seeking for this, like I have been doing, providing something to make next steps, to have that realization happening. So still there is definitely motivation to do something, because we decided to become many in order to celebrate life in so many different dimensions, in so many different unique ways. I have my unique way, you have your unique way, and then I don't mean I as in the ego, but I as in that is the both in same in both you and me. But yeah, I exist and operate through this body, and you operate through that body of yours, and in that way. We can relate to each other and celebrate knowing that we can't give or add anything to each other, but we can celebrate together and create all kinds of things, like playing with the whole lila that is available to us. Lila is the divine play, that where we decided to become many in order to celebrate life. So the biggest belief where I started with is a mind existing, and living enlightenment is the whole seeking and journey of seeing that instead of you being a body and a mind, you actually operate through that, but you are the infinite source of life, and that imperishable life. And the body is also something that comes and goes. Nothing wrong. There's nothing to fear in the death of this body. There's nothing to fear in the death of other people, because you're not losing anything. I mean, are you going to, when you see in the autumn a tree losing its leaves, are you going to stand there and cry about it? No. We have seen so many times that a tree loses its leaves, goes into like a naked state for some months, and then the leaves come back again, and it is transformed in a completely new, beautiful green tree. And we have seen that so many times that we know, like, okay, there's nothing to cry about, actually. It will come back. And our life in this body, in this form, we have not seen beyond that yet. So we might not realize yet that it is actually same process, same kind of a process going on with this body also. But it is. That is exactly what it is. Just like how a tree loses its leaves, and then next season coming up again, that transformation is continuously happening. So there's nothing wrong or nothing sad in losing some kind of form. Like that is, we understand here in the West, we know the term God, generation, operation, and destruction. But actually, from the Vedic tradition, we know it as Godel, because also managing delusion and liberation is an aspect of the whole divine lila and our possibility. And we can see through the delusions that we create, and we can liberate ourselves from that by stopping doing that or stop giving it any importance. And see through like the whole perishability and imperishability, and what goes where. Like this body is perishable, but the life inside is imperishable. So the biggest belief actually is not this whole science of generation, operation, destruction, managing delusion and liberation, what we call as God or Godel, and what we call as like a religion, Hinduism, Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Actually, the biggest belief is in a mind existing everywhere, where we give such an importance to our thoughts and our concepts and ideas that we create. We are living literally in illusion, in delusion. And we are caught up in that prison. And actually, all of us, some way or the other, experience this and know it, recognize it at a certain level, because all of us have some kind of an experience, like there is something more in life, right? Or we all have had, I think, certain glimpses of where you are in a certain peaceful state and no suffering or with anything comes up. So those completely unclutched moments might be already a part of your life, but you might not have experienced yet that it is possible to be fully aware to that extent that you see that is continuously the case, and to live also in certain way, in that way that everything that you do in every moment you see this kind of a game. And even like there is way more possible in living enlightenment, because it is not only this. My guru has explained beautifully about his enlightenment experience, that it gave him a 360 degree vision, and not only vision but experience, literally feeling himself not only alive in what we call as his body, but literally when doing anything, living everywhere. And now even he is in such a samadhi that even the, like he's describing as if the body is I don't know exactly what the words he's using. Like this is integrating, not being visible even anymore for the people who are around him. Because in the end, even matter is a delusion. There's not something like matter and antimatter, like the manifested and unmanifested. Even all of the manifested is not the ultimate reality, is not reality. Only the unmanifested, where the manifested and the unmanifested integrate and become one, that is the ultimate reality. So it like living enlightenment is a long way, or maybe it can happen instantly now. In that sense, it does not need to be long in time, because even time is also an illusion, a construct that we make up. So even that you can see through, how even time does not exist, by being completely here, aware in the here and now. Because here and now, everything is available. And everything can be created. So even time is an illusion. So managing that delusion and liberation is a very important part of our life also, of our journey, our experience. So that's why Godal, like 5 aspects of the divine, so to say, of super consciousness. And the mind is just a creation in that. So thank you very much for listening to this video, for watching this video. And I don't know if it is, oh, it is still, the video is still going on. Okay. So sorry for the technical glitch. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much to listening to everything that I have to share. I'm also very happy to hear like what does resonate with you. What are your questions? Let's interact. I'll put my contact details below this video, and subscribe to this channel for more content about aspects of living enlightenment, and how to see through the non-existence of the mind, so to say, how to get into the larger reality of life. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you in next video. Nithyanandam, be blissful.